Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. How is everybody doing? Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. Today, I decided to do a live stream in order to look at something that I was thinking about yesterday. So yesterday, I was sitting there and decided to have a look at a video that popped up. Why is the Rally Sailing Echo Double? Stop lying to me. So I was looking at the video that popped up, which was about walking through Gaza and what Gaza looked like before the war. Right? What Gaza looked like before the war. So I started watching it, and as I was watching it, and I looked at other such videos before, as I was watching it, I thought to myself, I have many thoughts going through my head right now as I watch this video. And I have so many questions, such as, was it really worth it? Was it really worth it? So I want to go through some of the footage that we can see, which depicts Gaza and what it really looked like before the war, and want to contemplate some issues, some questions that are on everyone's mind. Because as we know, since the beginning of this whole war, since October 7, since October 8, as soon as we right after we talked about what a horrible day October 7 was, we started talking about, Gaza oppression, open air prison, and you have people saying things like, well, those people at the festival in Israel, they deserve to be killed and attacked. It's their fault because they were dancing and raving next to an open air prison. So we want to have a look at that open air prison. But before we do that, I quickly want to go through some of the news that are currently going on. So hours ago, I guess last night by my time, or this morning by Israeli time, Israel had its first air raid siren go off in Tel Aviv, and people could visibly see missiles above Tel Aviv intercepted by the Iron Dome, which is a little bit scary. That happened for the first time in a long time. Let's see. Please don't show me. So there you have some footage of the air raid at nighttime in Israel. Okay, I know it's nighttime right now in Israel. It's evening, night. When was that? Wasn't that like in the morning? Early in the morning. So yeah, that's what happened. It was right above Tel Aviv, and Tel Aviv has so far been hardly accessible for terrorist organizations and their fire, including Hezbollah. But this was one incident where indeed Hezbollah launched a missile toward Tel Aviv, and they claim that this was a missile targeting the Mossad headquarters, or a Mossad operations center.
This morning, fears growing of escalation in the Middle East. Hezbollah targeting Tel Aviv for the first time ever. The Iran-backed terror group sending a missile intercepted by Israel's defense system. Israel later responding by blowing up the launcher. This latest back and forth coming as tensions rise between Israel and Lebanese Hezbollah. The two sides trading airstrikes, Israel killing some of the group's leaders, and on Monday inflicting the highest death toll there since the 2006 war, with more than 500 people killed according to Lebanon's health ministry. Hezbollah unleashing strikes of its own.
So let's talk once again, one more time, about why this is happening. It is happening because Hezbollah for a whole year now has been firing missiles at Israel, has caused the displacement of more than 90,000 people in northern Israel who cannot live at the border anymore. Has been 6:30. Okay. That was in the morning. Okay. Thank you. So has been firing rockets toward Israel, has been displacing people, damaging Israel, has been firing missiles at the civilian population primarily. We had kindergartens, schools that had to be evacuated, that experienced damage, and so on. Just recently, just a few weeks ago, in the Golan Heights, a Druze community was targeted with a Hezbollah missile. 12 children died in the attack, and so on. And Israel has repeatedly told Hezbollah to stop firing missiles. Otherwise, we will go in. That's what they said. Hezbollah didn't want to stop. Hezbollah's message was, no, we will destroy the Zionist entity. We will punish the Zionist entity. And we will continue the current onslaught until you stop fighting in Gaza, which is a very disgusting method. I said this yesterday, but it would be like now going into Lebanon and starting to murder in the streets, starting to murder Lebanese Shia Muslims, and then say, okay, we are only going to stop once you stop firing missiles at Israel. Where are we going with that? It's so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. Israel is fighting in Gaza for a very, very clear reason, which is that Hamas took over in 2005 or in 2006, became the sole ruler of Gaza in 2007. It has been insisting on fighting, no recognition, no peace, and has been committing terrorist attacks while training suicide bombers and mass shooters and so on. So they have been at war with Israel forever, and Israel has finally had enough, is no longer listening to the world, and is saying, you know what, we don't care, we're going in and finishing them. Because on October 7, they crossed all of the red lines, going in and killing 1,200 people, mostly civilians, targeting mostly civilians, and so on. This is what's going on. Let's see what NBC says. Let's see what NBC says. New wave of extensive strikes by the Israeli military in southern Lebanon. Israel said it had intercepted a missile fired from Lebanon toward Tel Aviv. Israeli airstrike in Beirut yesterday killed a senior Hezbollah commander, the latest member of the Iran-backed group's top brass, and so on. Okay. Yesterday's news have been confirmed also that Hezbollah apparently asked Iran to... so Hezbollah asked Iran to step in, said, Iran, come here, support us, participate in the fight, do something about Israel. And Iran basically said, nope, it's not the right time for that. Because they were trying to score points at the United Nations and trying to give them the impression that they are not for an all-out war. it's like they're always acting like, I don't know, in a very disturbing way, of wanting war one day and then peace the next day. But to Hezbollah's requests, Iran said, nope, we can't do anything right now. It's not the time. So let's see. Mr. Garina said, you got no idea how thankful I am for your action, sending hearts from the Holy Land. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And sending love and respect and all my support to you back. Thank you. Kalibur said, is it wise to visit Israel right now? It's always wise to visit Israel. It's always wise to visit Israel. It's just if you haven't been to Israel before, or if you have been to Israel, even if you live in Israel, right now is security at the airport when leaving your country and flying to Israel is significantly tighter than any other time in over the last 2 decades. It's very, so be prepared if you haven't been there before for a lot of trouble, especially I would say if your name sounds like a very problematic one, and if you have if you have relatives and origins in certain countries that are hostile to Israel. You might experience quite some waiting time, but then usually they give you an apology and say, sorry for the inconvenience. Let us know if we can do anything for you. So it's quite nice. It's good that they do this. That's how they should be acting. Alhamdulillah. Anyway, let's look at what's happening in Gaza. So I came across 2 videos
bike ride through
from Gaza. One of those videos from Gaza was on this channel, from Cool Tech USA, and this was published in November 2023 to highlight what Gaza was like, what Gaza was like before the war. And when you look at it, there are some comments here that say things like, no tents or people sleeping on the streets, looks nicer than many cities in the USA. This is funny because after coming to America, I noticed one thing, which is that America is a little bit different from other Western nations. The average city is not quite as decent as the average European city. So you have quite some crappy places in America. And especially if you live in one of those collapsed cities like Detroit, this will probably feel like heaven to you. So let's see what happens here. Oh, look, next suggested video, Hitler, of course, always with me. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You see that? You see that shape here? This is weird. They have, it says Palestine here in Arabic. And then the shape depicted here is one that includes all of the land that is right now Israel. So this is all Palestine, according to them. This is what they sell over there. But the funny thing is, it also includes the Golan Heights, which I don't understand because so there are those who go around saying that Israel occupied the Golan Heights and it actually belongs to Syria. It's not part to Israel. But why is this on here? Why is this on a Palestine map? Do they want to take the Golan Heights too? Like if they wanted to take take all of this land, right? Would they also take the Golan Heights with them? It's kind of funny. The funny thing about this is, if I did not hear the people speaking around me, and for a second, if I didn't pay attention to the women, right, I would not be able to tell whether this is what country this is, what place this is. It could very much be Turkey. Somebody could tell me this is from Turkey, and I would be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, looks like it. Yeah, looks like Turkey. Looks like Turkey." Been to lots of places in Turkey that look like this. I spent summer holidays in Turkey when we would go there. I lived in places in Turkey that look exactly like this. I walked through places in Turkey that were like this all the time. Turkish and Turkey is considered an advanced country that is that shows nothing but pity for those poor Palestinian Gazans. And say, oh no, they live in oppression. They have a horrible life. These Gazans have a better life than you, man. In Turkey, you have to work for a living. You have to work to go around and do things. In Gaza, more than half of the population was unemployed before the war. Much of this stuff they were getting for free from Muslim countries, from Arab countries that would send funds to them. Lots of stuff they would get for free from services from Israel. They would get money from Qatar. That is, of course, all aside from the money that directly goes to Hamas, which is a huge chunk, which they would then use to create tunnels and to weaponize, to arm themselves in order to fight and terrorize Israel and prepare for the next attempt to take down the Zionist entity and all that. Oh, one funny thing that I will do is also throughout this, after looking at this for a little bit, I want to have a look at some other cities, some other places. For example, Egypt, Lebanon, Turkey, and certain other places. India, by the way, and compare this to those. Yeah, I just checked the statistics. So Gaza unemployment before the war was at around 45%. Youth unemployment was at nearly 60%. So half the population was unemployed. The one thing I notice is that I think there is a difference here between. There's one difference that I notice between what I see from Gaza and what I see from the so-called West Bank, which is the women. I haven't seen a single woman so far who is not wearing a hijab. And as far as I'm aware, Hamas doesn't have an explicit restriction on the hijab, although they do have they do advocate for it. They do pretty much tell them that they should wear it, so there's probably some pressure on it. As far as I'm aware, they did not officially do a completely enforced hijab outside, but they did enforce it in schools, for example. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, there's something about the cars. I noticed when I was watching this. There were quite some nice cars around here. Okay, this I saw a Mercedes somewhere that was looking quite good. You know, quite neat. Nice, good on you. Some Jeeps and stuff. So this is the way this looks here for a Western person. For somebody living, I don't know, it's somewhere in Europe or somewhere in some fancy place in America, this might look like, oh no, look at this building. Building looks crappy. This must be because of oppression. This is, you can literally see this stuff in every single Middle Eastern country, every single Muslim country. I've seen sites like these. Like this is this is a completely regular look here. This wall, this crappy wall, in Turkey, for example. Oh, look at that! What model is that? What kind of what model Mercedes is that? Must be nice. Must be nice being you. Lots of Americans would probably want to have that vehicle. M5 2021. I was kind of hoping to get some footage when I went to Israel with David. We were told that we might be able to get a glimpse into a small glimpse into Gaza, but then when we went there, I was told that it's no longer possible, so didn't get to do that. But the closest place we went was Kibbutz Kisofim, which is right at the border. We could hear the bombs, could hear the fighting over across the border the whole time. We could also see Gaza from a distance, and man, it must be rough for, I don't know if there are viewers who are from that region who live close to a region that is close to Gaza, that is in the Gaza envelope. Must be anxiety inducing to be there. Yeah, so for those who don't know, this is the closest I was to Gaza. We went to Israel together. Went through these different communities that were attacked. Sderot was a city that was significantly attacked. Kibbutz Be'eri, Kfar Aza, Nahal Oz, Reim. Here, this is where, I think between Reim and Be'eri is the festival site where the thing took place. The massacre took place where more than 300 were killed by Hamas, and Kisufim is one of the communities that was attacked. That's where we went. It was a tragic sight, and lots of the people living here were people who were advocating for peace with the Palestinian side, for peace agreements, for helping them, for human rights. Many of them were, the family in charge there would go to the border, pick up kids, take them to hospitals, take care of their needs, and so on. But the morning of October 7, nobody asked them how much they support Gaza. They came and kicked in their doors and started killing them and kidnapping them. You know what a horrible place looks like? A horrible place looks like this here.
That part of the
This here now, maybe I should put this as a banner on here. This is Egypt. This here is Egypt. This is not Gaza. You have just seen Gaza, right? Gaza before the war. This here is Egypt. This here is a neighborhood or a slum in Egypt.
I'm good, sir. Thank you so much. And I got lost. I'm using Google. There's some butchers over there. I'm going to turn around the camera. Loads of blood. They cut. That's a puzzle over here, even with Google Maps, I'm telling you. It's crazy.
I mean, this is why lots of people in Egypt and the government of Egypt and others think, excuse me, why are we told to care about and to run for the help of Gaza? If we are supposed to care about people suffering and living in shit, living in garbage, living horrible lives with a lack of civilization, shouldn't we be taking care of our own people instead of going over there, going to Gaza, where they seem to live in paradise in comparison? This is not a so the point here is this is not a regular place in Egypt, by the way. It's not a regular place in Egypt. This is not an average site in Egypt. This is one of the worst places in Egypt. This is a slum in Egypt, one of the worst, poorest places, full of garbage. Let's see. What is it called? What is it called? What is it called? Somebody will say. Coptics are handling the garbage for the Muslims in Egypt. Pakistan looks even worse. Yeah, I should have a look at that too, by the way. Slums in Brazil and Argentina, India, all of it. Yeah, Brazil. Really, Brazil. Watch the movie City of God. I don't know if you have seen the movie the City of God, which takes place in Brazil. You will see that looks significantly worse than anything you have seen in Gaza. These are Christian slums. Okay, yeah, these are slums in Egypt. Horrible, terrible looking places. Full of garbage. So the point here is not that this is what all of Egypt looks like. It is that surrounding Gaza, there are places that look significantly worse than Gaza. Gaza does not look bad at all. On the contrary, it looks better than half the world, actually. Let's have a look at regular places in Egypt. This is Cairo. Doesn't look much better than what we just saw. I mean, a decent looking place would probably be around here somewhere. The structures look very much like. And look at this. This is downtown Cairo, Egypt. Downtown Cairo, Egypt. This is not being oppressed by Israel. It's not being oppressed by the evil Jews. It's a normal Middle Eastern, normal Arab, normal Muslim place. That's it. That's what it is. And look at this place. People here are told that they are supposed to put everything down and care about the people living in this place here. People here, which is Gaza, seem to be much more comfortable than people living here. Egypt, Cairo. Where's the oppression? Where is the horrible suffering? Where is the inhumanity? Let's have another place. Here, Mumbai, India. I can imagine that people who are watching from India, who are watching the Gaza footage from India, probably think, wow, what a nice place. I want to move there, right?
See, here is a bit of breeze. It's good.
Yeah, this is India. This is India. Indians here who live here are told that people here are totally brutally suffering and they should be caring about this, and there's genocide and so on, and they have been oppressed, and it's been an open air prison, and it's a concentration camp. It's a concentration camp. Why do you not care about Gaza? It has been oppressed. It has been treated like a concentration camp. People are dying in the streets. Look at this. Look at this. You are living here in comfort, but people in Gaza, they are also living in comfort, but they're dying inside. Why would Indians care about Gaza when their own places look worse than Gaza? They would rather want to take care of their own lives instead, right? Why would people in Lebanon, in Beirut looks decent, okay? Beirut looks relatively decent. Probably also because it has a Christian past rather than a Muslim past. But so Beirut looks decent. But still, there are lots of parts of Beirut that are garbage, that are indistinguishable from other garbage places like Istanbul in Turkey. This is the best place I've seen so far among all the places I looked at. It's because it's Beirut, Lebanon, and it doesn't have a complicated Muslim past. Alhamdulillah. So maybe it's not Israel that's the problem. Maybe it's Islam. I don't know. Maybe think about that. Maybe it's Arab culture. And so on. Let's go to Turkey. This is a place that I walked through every single day, and I've seen significantly worse places. I don't want to show you the worst places. I just want to show you an average place. I mean, this is a popular street. Looks okay, slightly more elevated than what Gaza looked like. However, if we actually went into places where people actually live, you would see worse sights. I guess Turks have a habit of always staying on the main commercial streets here. You know what's worse? South Africa. South Africa. South Africa is worse than Gaza. South Africa is worse than Gaza. Yes.
Boxing club of Hillbrow.
South Africa has lower happiness than Gaza. South Africa has significantly higher crime rates than Gaza. South Africa has lower life expectancy, lower standards of living, lower quality of life, lower everything than Gaza. But South Africa is the country that goes to the international court to bring charges against Israel for oppressing Gaza and making their lives horrible. Make it make sense. Johannesburg is where you get mugged in the middle of the street and nobody does anything about it. But yeah, let's care about Gaza. All eyes on Gaza. Here. All eyes on the good merchandise in Gaza here. All eyes on the cars in Gaza. All eyes on the comfortable walking across the street in Gaza. Actually, here you will have a good demonstration, especially if you're from the West. This is probably a nightmare to watch. I made my wife watch this last night, and she was like, "What are they doing?" Just look at the traffic and how people handle traffic and walk through traffic here in Gaza. This guy is literally walking in the middle of the road. Imagine trying to get to somewhere here. Honk, 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 honk. No order, no rules, no effort to even establish order, no effort to stick to any rules, no concern for others. None of those concepts that make a society a proper functioning society. Maybe, and these things might seem insignificant to those who don't value these things, and that's exactly the point. Those who do value these things usually make better societies. In Gaza, you have decent-looking places. You have good cars. You have clean streets, nice buildings. You have another luxury Mercedes riding through the streets here. You have German vehicles there. You get stuff for free. You are unemployed and still well fed. You have luxury stores. You have clothing brands with sales here. Big stores with sales, discounts. Hey, come in here, buy one, get another for free. But not free Palestine. But you don't have the will to have law and order. You don't have the will to actually build something and to establish something on this. Imagine, you have all of this. A life that half the world would look up to and think, "Whoa, I wish I could live in such a place like this." You have a life like this, and you decide that you absolutely have to, because you're oppressed and suppressed and genocided. You absolutely have no other choice but to invade Israel, right? To go into Israel, to rob Israelis, to take their belongings, to claim everything that they built, to kill their people, to rape their women, to take hostages, and so on, and say, "We have been oppressed, we've been forced to act like this. All of this land should belong to us now." Imagine that. And somehow you are supposed to care about this. I am supposed to care about this. The world is supposed to care about this. Gaza has better living standards than half of the world. On a scale of rating standards of living, HDI index. Let's check the HDI index. I think they don't separate Gaza and the West Bank. They just count Palestine, all of it as once. But let's check the Human Development Index list here. The latest one for 2024. I would assume that in 2023, for 2023, I would assume that 2024 doesn't look very decent anymore for Gaza, for which they can only thank themselves. Let's see. 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 So here is the index, Human Development Index. And you have the Human Development Index from highest to lowest. This is measured. Countries ranked from 1 to 69 in 2022 are designated very high. Those ranked from 70 to 118 are designated high Human Development Index. Very, very important. Very important. Okay, very important here. Now we're going through the list. Highest Human Development Index, Switzerland. If I to be fair, if I compared Gaza streets to Switzerland streets, Gaza would look worse. But then again, the vast majority of the world would look worse in comparison to Switzerland. Switzerland is really good. You go down the list. You have Israel here in the top 25. You go down the list. You have Turkey somewhere here. You go down and go down and go down. Now look at this. 111. You have Palestine. Together, the West Bank and Gaza. In fact, there is a growth between the years 2010 and 2022. There is a growth. So they have been getting better at the Human Development Index. On spot 111. Surrounding them are Lebanon, South Africa, Indonesia, one of the most independent, largest Muslim countries in the world, the Philippines, Botswana, you have Kyrgyzstan, you have Morocco here. You have people in Morocco going around saying, "Oh, poor Palestinians, they have been treated like shit. They have been treated like animals. Of course, they had to do this. They had to do this. They had to go out and kill and rape and all that." Morocco has a worse human development index than Palestine. Bangladesh, Iraq, they're worse. And before I go further down, look, as I just pointed out, 1 to 69 is very high. 70 to 118 is high. 119 to 159 is medium. 160 to 193 is low. So until 118, it is considered high. By that standard, what they call Palestine here is considered high. So Palestine, right, has a high human development index rating. Does this really mean that this is a horrible place? Does this mean this is a horrible place? Oppressed? No chance, no choice but to go out and kill people and to rape people? This is not oppression. This is ungratefulness. This is not oppression. This is the lack of gratitude. It's not oppression. It's not open air prison. It's not concentration camp. It is the lack of gratitude, the lack of appreciation, the lack of concern for others, the lack of concern for yourself, what you have. I can't say that Palestine is that great anymore right now. No, Gaza has very much turned to rubbles. Whose fault is that? Is that the fault of Israel? No, it's the fault of these very people here. Because they do not know how to appreciate things. Somalia. Yemen. Look at this. You have Yemen. You have the Yemeni Houthis going around and wanting to support Palestine, right? You have Somalians around the world supporting Palestine. You have Afghanistan supporting Palestine. They are all significantly worse. They are all in the low human development index category compared to Palestine, which is in the high category. This is the reality. This is the reality, okay? And yes, Zach said, just imagine if they spent the terror tunnel money on their population. This is exactly the point. With all that they have, they are begging the world to help them. The world actually is stupid enough to help them, right? And to make their lives even better than it is, which is why... Wait a minute, where's Pakistan, by the way? Wow, man. Wow. I don't... What should I even say? What the hell should I even say? Pakistan is on 164. Pakistan is 164th on a ranking of the Human Development Index. Palestine is on 111th on the Human Development Index. And you have Pakistanis walking around, running around everywhere saying, free, free Palestine, oppression, they're being oppressed, man. They're being oppressed. They're being oppressed, man. Come on, man. They're being so oppressed, bro. This is just a regular Arab country. Seriously, this is just a regular Arab country. Egypt is right here. Lebanon is right here. It's just an irregular Arab country. Has nothing to do with Israel, nothing to do with Jews. Israel is not oppressing these people. Israel is not doing anything to these people. Israel hasn't been doing anything to these people. The only thing that Israel did together with Egypt was to blockade the Gaza Strip and be in charge of what goes in and what goes out for only one single reason, which is that Hamas said since they took over that they have no intention to make peace and mutual recognition with Israel, and that they will stick to their promise to take all of the land and conquer all of it and destroy Israel and kill the Jews. This is why Israel has been imposing, together with Egypt, a blockade, and has been letting them live for free with the support of all the others who are living worse than they do. Humanity is so stupid. So stupid. People are so stupid. And here is what Hamas says about this.
يتساءل وهذا سؤال البعض يتساءل وهذا سؤال رائج وشائع. يعني من قام بتشييد 500 كيلومتر من الأنفاق، لماذا لم يشيد مآوي يلجأ إليها المدنيون خلال القصف؟
For those who are only listening and not reading and don't speak Arabic, he said, you have built 500 kilometers of tunnels. So this is the guy asking the Hamas speaker on TV. Why haven't you built bomb shelters so that the civilian population can hide during the bombardments? And here is what the Hamas spokesperson has to say about this.
نحن شيدنا الأنفاق لأنه لا نملك ما ندفع به عن أنفسنا من القتل والاستهداف. هذه الأنفاق من أجل أن نحمي أنفسنا من الطائرات، نحمي مقاتلين من الأنفاق.
We have built these tunnels in order to fight and to protect ourselves from the Israeli army. The tunnels are for fighting and to protect ourselves, meaning us, Hamas members, Hamas, from the enemy, from Israel.
أما القطاع غزة فأنت تعلم والجميع يعلم بأنه 75% منه لاجئين، واللاجئين هو مسؤولية الأمم المتحدة في حماية.
Everyone knows that 75% of the Gazan population are refugees. That means that the United Nations is responsible for their protection. This is actually, you can even see how, I don't know, it's kind of funny. There's something in the eyes of this guy when he says this.
70% منه لاجئين.
This is actually an important point because the whole Gazan population established the whole scam, yes, scam, of having the population recognized as refugees by the United Nations. Refugees. Are they really refugees? No. Lots of the people that you saw on the video in Gaza who are just walking around living regular lives are considered refugees. Lots of regular cities in Gaza are considered refugee camps, but they're not really camps. They're just regular cities. They're just regular cities. Regular cities. The only reason why they're recognized as refugees is that when the war broke out, the 1948 war, and the Arabs invaded Israel, and Israel fought back and seized more territory than they were initially allotted, and took over much of the land where certain Arab populations lived, and those Arab populations fled, and some were expelled as part of the war, which they started, by the way. So after that war, lots of people left places that were then conquered by Israel. Because they left those places during the war, they claimed that they now have a right to return after the war is over. And Israel said, no, you don't. You don't. We had our borders. We established our modern state. Your side fought a war against us, an extermination war. You guys participated or fled and made way for them to come and kill us. Why in the hell would we let you back and let you live here? No, we're not doing that. So as a result of that, those who left those places were considered refugees, and their descendants to this day are still considered refugees. This is why he says 75% of the population of Gaza are refugees. They're not actually refugees. They're just people living in Gaza. But this refugee status, this scam fake refugee status, gives them the right to be protected by the United Nations.
مسؤولية الاحتلال في أن يقدم كل تبعا لاتفاقية جنيف الدولية أن يقدم لهم كل الخدمات وهم تحت الاحتلال.
So this is what this guy says. When asked, don't you guys have tons of money? You built a whole underground tunnel network. Why don't you build shelter for the civilian population? Hamas says, it's not our responsibility. We don't care. Look, even if we granted for a second that it's not actually the responsibility of Hamas, which it totally is, imagine that this group is so careless about their own population that they say, well, technically it's not our responsibility to protect our own population, so therefore we're not going to do that. We'll just continue building tunnels and attacking Israel. Of course, fantastic. Did that just say Modern Life School? What is that? Yeah, there are lots of interesting places here. Must be a good place to go on vacation here, Gaza, right? Oh wait, not anymore. Look at this. Decent place. Interesting. I swear I have known so many people in Turkey who would look at this video and who would think, wow, I wish I had that vehicle. I wish I had that car. I wish I lived there. I wish I owned a shop like this. But they are then told that this place here is a place of oppression. Israel oppresses these people. This is exactly what a concentration camp, a place of oppression, looks like, of course. Here is another video where you have a different site and different places, which also goes to the beach of Gaza. Forget about Venice Beach. Forget about your plans, I don't know, in Mallorca, wherever you go. Here's Gaza. Here's Gaza. Oh, wait. Not anymore. It looks like a regular rural place in Turkey. Look, there's a donkey, underdeveloped. No, looks like a regular place in the Middle East. And even the roads look quite decent, man. I know in Midwest America, USA, there are roads that are much crappier than this, where you can't drive without driving into a bunch of dents and stuff. This road here, this looks better than lots of places in America, in, I don't know, Michigan and different places in America. Must be nice. Must be nice. And now, after all of that, now is the time to look at Gaza after the war. If you just look at videos like this and see Gaza after the war, it all looks so dramatic and so bad, you think, oh no, poor Gazans, what did Israel do to them? But if you look at it within the context of seeing what it was before versus what it is now, it suddenly seems much less pitiful, much less dramatic.
This is what it looks like to take a bike ride through Gaza today. It's been 6 months since the conflict between Palestinian militant group Hamas and Israel began. Before that, the tiny enclave run by Hamas was impoverished and densely populated, but full.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the narrative here? Impoverished and densely populated. Okay, you mean this here? You mean this kind of stuff? You mean this? You mean this beautiful life here? A beautiful life. I wish I lived in Gaza, where dreams come true. I wish I lived in Gaza, where life is beautiful.
Full of life. Reuters took bicycle rides along Gaza's ruined streets to gauge the destruction left by Israel. Sell desserts on a crowded street near the border in Rafah. Israeli airstrikes have killed more than 33,000 people in retaliation for Hamas's attack on Israel,
Yeah, was it worth it?
which left 1,200 dead and more than 200 people taken from one part of the enclave
Was
to
it
another,
worth it?
trying to escape part of it after moving.
I find it funny that even in videos like these, they like to focus, of course, because it catches the eye on the severely destroyed places. Just look at this. This is 6 months into the war. It doesn't look like the whole place has been leveled. On the contrary, most of the buildings are still standing.
Moving from one part of the enclave to another, trying to escape the relentless bombardment. Israeli officials say they have increased aid access to Gaza, but that they are not responsible for delays. They say it's the responsibility of the UN and humanitarian.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm now in Tel Sultan, Rafah. 2 days ago, the coastal municipality.
This is so sad. Look what life has become here. Look what happened here. Look, it is very sad, okay? It is sad. Life undoubtedly has become significantly worse in Gaza. Undoubtedly, life has become significantly worse in Gaza than it was before. However, whose fault is that? Is that because Israel was like, nope, you are living good lives. We cannot allow this anymore. It is time to bomb Gaza. Or was it because Hamas and the population there said, you know what? We want more. Let's attack Israel and take everything. Maybe we can now manage to take down the Zionist entity. It's rather that. Just look at videos like these. Isn't it funny? Lots of people react with this like, oh no, look what happened to that beautiful place. What I think immediately is, wait a minute, that was quite a beautiful place. I've seen places in Tel Aviv that look worse. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, people from Israel? I went to places in Tel Aviv. I saw places in Tel Aviv that were worse than what Gaza looks like here on the left. But Israel, in charge of Tel Aviv, is accused of making life horrible for the Gazan population in Gaza, and so on, and so on. Yeah, of course, putting a different filter on also makes it look worse. You see, they even changed the color of the sky. Israel changed the color of the sky, alhamdulillah. The Guardian, the most reliable source in the world.
It's all about.
Here's another funny video. It's called I Love Gaza, 5 places to visit in Gaza. This is from the Turkish public broadcast service, published 5 years ago in April 2019. I love Gaza.
What's going on, Shababs? We're here about my favorite ornament in the whole city. I love Gaza.
I love Gaza. Isn't Gaza beautiful? Woohoo!
Obviously, if you've seen Gaza in the headlines, it's all about wars, a year-long massacre, and a siege. But it's not all doom and gloom here in Gaza. We're spending the day to show you the best 5 things to do and the best...
Yeah, obviously it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, I can see it here. I can see that. I can see that. Just look at this picture here. I can see it's not all doom and gloom. Half the world wishes they lived in a place that looks like this.
Best 5 places to go while you're here. I'm standing by the beautiful coastline here in the central port of Gaza. Let me show you what you do when you come here.
Let's see what you can do in Gaza, in this beautiful place. Look at this, full of oppression. Oppression. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the building here, back there. All look beautiful, beautiful. But why beautiful? Because Israel bombing it.
So things to do while you're at the...
Is this parody? That's what you would think, right? But it's not. It's actually a video by the Turkish state broadcaster advertising for Gaza. And the funny thing is, there are people here like, we don't even know if these people are alive or dead. Watching this after seeing the video of a tank running over, I love Gaza sign, unbelievable. I hope this young man is alive. Not one person here in this propaganda space says, wait a minute. Okay, actually one person here says it. So it's not an open air prison? Oh no, one person asked an important question. Stone him! Stone them! Stone them! Yeah.
The port. Well, the first one, obviously, is to fish. Many people come here in the afternoon, they sit around the rocks, and they wait patiently to catch something nice. Others take the
love Gaza.
boat to enjoy the magnificent landscape
Gaza is beautiful.
of Gaza. And if you look here at a distance, is the magical
Gaza is paradise.
Hassaina Mosque. And when the adhan goes, which is the Muslim prayers, there's an amazing sense of tranquility and harmony that presides around the port. And finally, a little cheeky one. Most people come here if they want a little romantic date. You bring your date, you take her here by the rocks, and you enjoy some quiet time.
But you forgot to mention one thing. You come here if you want a romantic date and some quiet time. But then when you have a romantic time here, right, then suddenly the Jews come in. Israel comes in and says, how dare you be happy? How dare you be happy? How dare you enjoy your life? You're supposed to be oppressed. So they come and oppress them then. That's what happens.
Center of knowledge and power here in this beautiful city. This is called the Jerusalem building outside here. And yeah, so if you want to come have some quiet time, maybe read a book, drink a cup of tea, the Islamic University of Gaza is definitely a place to go.
But then, so you go here to have a good time, to have some peace and quiet, and to read stuff and all that. But then Israel attacks you because they don't want you to have a peaceful time. This is what actually happens. He just forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Little observation though, this fountain doesn't work. Please somebody fix the fountain.
Ask Hamas.
مين هو عرفنا عليهم 2 4 6 ابو العابد ايه ده الجامعه احلى جامعه احلى يو بيوتيفول.
We're about to go to the British graveyards. I know, sounds very, very weird, but it's really, really cool. Let's go. Yalla, Yusuf. Are buried over here. The Great War, as it's referred to, from 1914 to 19. British officers who died in World War I or the Great War.
Here we can look at some dead British officers. We love that. We just love that.
As it's referred to, from 1914 to 1918, are buried over here. So actually, most of the tombstones here specify the number, rank, and name of the soldier who died. So it says here, 203908, Private J.T. Brindon, Norfolk Regiment, 2nd November, 1917. Now, it's not only British soldiers who were buried here, but also members of the Allied forces who fought together in the war.
And we like looking at their dead, at their places of death, because we didn't like them anyway. We wish the others had won.
How many Gazans when you see?
Oh, look at this, man.
Them roaming around are just here to find some peace. The market of Gaza, where you come here to get your bling bling and look fresh. Let's go.
Holy shit! Wow. All right, this almost looks like, okay, this must be a parody, but it's not. Did you hear that? Let's look at these moments here.
Money, Arab money, Arab money. Obviously, I'm not Busta Rhymes. We don't have Arab money. We're not in Dubai, but we're in the golden market of Gaza, where you come here to get your bling bling and look fresh. Let's come and see.
Look at all the oppression here. Look at all the repression here. I don't want to play music. It's probably copyrighted or something.
ابو محل تاجر دهب، اهلا وسهلا بيك.
يا هلا بيك.
ربنا يخليك. انت طب ممكن تقول لنا بقى ايه ممكن نشتري ايه بتبيع ايه؟
احنا طبعا ما انت عارف يعني انت جاي محل ده.
I can already feel what it probably feels like to go through this place. Like, Habibi, come here. I have special price just for you. Special price only for you. Yeah, I don't even need to sell this, but this is only for you. Only for you because I like you. You look like a very nice person. And I have a very special piece that just came in. Everybody wanted this, but I didn't sell anybody because I was waiting for you. Now you are here. Wallahi, you look like a wonderful person, and I make very, very special price. I will go broke and will be genocided when I sell this to you, but still I'm okay with it because you're a very special person, Habibi. Please buy this.
ذهب هيبيع ايه؟ هيبيع ذهب.
ايوه.
يعني لو عايز تتجوز
نعم.
هتاخد شبكه زي دي.
تمام.
هتاخد صوره مثلا سليته زي دي.
تمام.
هتاخد خاتم مثلا.
انا بنوي بس انت فاهم يعني
والله نيتك صعبه.
Do you have family? Do you have wife? Do you have children? Wallahi, please buy this before everybody gets genocided. Alhamdulillah.
دولارات.
والله صعبه نيتي.
صعبه نيتي. With an amazing view to finish off the day. المنطار area. From here,
Gaza is beautiful. So yeah, I hope it was worth it, man. I absolutely hope it was worth it. Absolutely hope it was totally worth it. Giving this up, turning everything to shit, and starting a war by invading people and killing Jews just because you want to do it. And then saying, oh, we were forced to do it. We were forced to do it, man. We were totally forced to do it, bro. We had no other choice. We were being oppressed. We were totally being oppressed, man. That's why we had to do it. We had no other choice. Had they let us live like this, we would never have done any of that stuff. But we're only doing this because we've been oppressed. Israel is oppressing us. Don't you understand? Look at my bling bling. Look at my bling bling bling. You know what's funny? Here's a World Population Review website that also lists the Human Development Index by countries. And here it even has the Human Development tier specified right here with the colors. And you can see it right here. You can see it right here. Look at this. It says here, Palestine, Human Development tier, high. Palestine, Human Development tier, high. As opposed to other countries that are medium, like Bangladesh and all these other countries that nobody cares about because they're not fighting Jews. And as opposed to those countries like Nigeria that are low, countries like Pakistan that are low. You have Pakistanis running around in the United Kingdom, in the streets of London, around the world, running around saying, free Palestine, Palestine oppressed. Their own country is swimming in shit because they don't want to take care of it. Yeah, I expect now people who watch this live stream come here and say, oh, well, I supported you in the past, but you are very, very insensitive. Why are you making excuses? Don't you know that these people are living terrible lives? And why are you undermining this? And why are you downplaying the suffering that they're going through? Well, because they're not going through suffering, okay? And if they're going through any suffering, it's by their own choice. That's why. Here's Ramallah in the West Bank. This looks like a regular place in downtown Tel Aviv. Okay, I must say Tel Aviv looks a bit better. This is a little bit crappy. Not because it is forced to be crappy, but because they just really don't seem to take care of things very well. Here's, of course, again, the ambition to totally have a two-state solution right here, see? This is better than lots of places in Turkey, man. Yeah, for those who missed it, this is Ramallah, West Bank, Judea and Samaria. This stuff still looks like this. Probably better. When was this published? Let me see. Oh, this was only 8 months ago, in January 2024. So not sure when this was filmed. Probably around that time. It still looks like this, if not better. This is Ramallah. Looks better than most places in the Middle East. This is the other Palestine that is oppressed by the Jews. So there you have it. Contrary to the stupid propaganda you see all day of how... Wow, man. Are you freaking kidding me? Look at this place. Just look at this place. You have people going around the world, sitting there in their basements saying, we have to care about Palestine being oppressed. Look at this, man. Does this look like oppression to you? You absolute geniuses. Does this look like oppression to you? Does this look like oppression? I'm doing this literally right here in real time. I'm not picking specific parts. I'm just looking through the video here. Right? I'm not going through specific videos that I just handpick. I'm just picking out random videos and going to random spots in the video. It looks amazing. This looks better than lots of places that I've seen in Turkey. This looks better than most places in the Middle East. This looks better than every place in India. Looks better than South Africa. Better than Egypt. Better than much of Lebanon. Better than Jordan. Okay, I'm not sure about that one, honestly. And so on. Definitely better than Syria. I can guarantee lots of Indians would be like, hey, I want to live here, man. Look at this place. Beautiful. Yeah, I know. Sorry, India. Sorry, Indians who are watching, for depicting your country like complete trash. However, we have to be real here for a second. You know that your country looks like complete trash most of the time. And there is a point to be made here, which is that people are talking about Gaza every day, all day, and about Palestinian territories all day, every day. Your country looks significantly worse than what these Palestinian territories look like. They look like paradise in comparison. I mean, show me such a place in India, man. Show me such a place in India. This looks like Europe. Almost. It looks better than... All right, let's do this. Let's do a Detroit walking tour, okay? Let's do a Detroit walking tour. or certain places of Detroit. I don't know. It was significantly worse at one. No. What the hell is this place, man? No, I don't. I want regular neighborhoods in Detroit. Regular neighborhoods in Detroit. Here.
$1 million for a condo in Detroit. I don't know if you would. City's actually walkable.
Probably gonna have an electric. I hopped on it right over there and just took it one stop here.
Detroit. So I don't know if you can see.
$1 million. This is not a crappy one, man. I want a crappy one from Detroit. Okay. I want an average neighborhood in Detroit. I don't want downtown Detroit or fancy Detroit. I want average downtown Detroit or average neighborhood Detroit. That's what I want. Anyway, just Google Detroit. Get it. I can go outside here and have worse places than Gaza and Ramallah. Alhamdulillah. La 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 la, golden market of Gaza. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. What else can we look at? Tel Aviv looks significantly better. Not sure what places to look at. Tell me a place, if you're a viewer in Tel Aviv, that is one of those bad-looking places in Tel Aviv. Please tell me one of those bad-looking places in Tel Aviv, and I'll pull it up here and we'll walk through it. Neve Sha'anan. Holy shit, what is this, man? Wow. Here's Ramallah, West Bank, Judea Samaria. Here's Ramallah. Here's a crappy place in the south of Tel Aviv. They look quite similar. Actually, depending on the spot, Tel Aviv looks worse than Ramallah. Looks even worse than Gaza. Anyway, get the point. But hey, apartheid, oppression, apartheid. That said, I don't want to make it look like Tel Aviv is a terrible place. Tel Aviv is a beautiful place in general, because they care of it, because they take care of it, because they build it, because they flourish and nourish it, instead of bombing things left and right. How about that? Instead of bombing, destroying things. Instead of bombing and destroying things left and right, they actually build stuff. Here's Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv looks good because they actually take care of Tel Aviv, because they actually built Tel Aviv. Because they build things instead of blowing themselves up and bombing and raping and so on. Maybe you should try that. Maybe the Gazans should try building stuff instead of bombing and shooting and raping. How about that? Yeah, and people in Tel Aviv actually work. Paradox said, thank you for highlighting this. No, thank you. Lothar said, had plans to go to Israel, but got an opportunity to buy a house instead. Too short on cash to go to Israel now. Yeah, well, priorities, priorities. Priorities. But Israel definitely worth going to. I definitely want to go back as soon as possible. Dan David looks like Dearborn, Michigan. Dearborn, Michigan. That looks like a terrible place. You see, this proves under Islam you can be strong. Yeah. The funny thing is, I really wonder what kind of excuses they offer when you show them how quite developed and good Gaza looked before the war. Igor Kluev said, I started reading Robert Spencer's The Critical Quran. I haven't even finished yet, the second Surah Al-Baqarah, and I gotta say, this is the most anti-Semitic book I have ever read. Love and appreciate you support. Thank you, I appreciate it. You haven't seen anything yet. Continue reading it. Read chapter 9 of the Quran. Read other chapters mentioning Jews, Christians, polytheists, and look at the hadiths, especially my favorite hadith, one of my favorite sayings by the Holy Prophet Muhammad. Holy Prophet Muhammad. Holy Prophet Muhammad. Where he promised that they will kill the Jews, that Muslims would kill the Jews. And in fact, the day of judgment will not come before the Muslims kill the Jews. I would always recommend looking at that, because that is the kind of stuff that Muslims enjoy around the world. They're like, yeah, the Jews are currently, the Jews have it good right now, but don't forget what the Prophet Muhammad promised us. He said, we will kill the Jews. The messenger of Allah said, the last hour will not come until the Muslims fight against the Jews. Oh, here. Until the Muslims fight against the Jews. Until a Jew will hide himself behind a stone or a tree, and the stone or the tree will say, O Muslim, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him. But Kargat tree will not say so, for it is the tree of the Jews. Brought to you by the religion of peace and tolerance. And this is not something that is just random. It is something that is that Muslims all around the world, the vast majority of Muslims, believe to be true prophecies and promises by Muhammad, by Mohammed. There's a video that I always wanted to watch. Maybe I should have a look at that quickly. I had a look at that a long time ago, because so as a Muslim, when I was a Muslim, I heard this stupid thing that the Jews, they secretly know about the prophecy, and they know that they will be killed when the day comes, and they know they will lose, and they even know about the Gargat tree, which is why they're planting Gargat trees everywhere in Israel, and they won't tell you. Lots of people actually go around, lots of Muslims do believe that this is actually true. By the way, thank you, Igor Klev. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Continue. Lots of Muslims believe it, which is why they also asked Corey Gill Schuster to go around and ask Israelis if they are planting Gargat trees. So here you have the responses from them.
אוקיי, זה עץ בעברית יכול להיות עם לוח או עתד. שמעת על עתד? שמעתי. אוקיי, שזה end of days? אחרית הימים. אחרית הימים.
This guy thinks that this is just a question about botanics, or about plants, about trees. Like, I don't know much about trees, you know.
לפי המוסלמים, היהודים יחבו מאחורי העץ הזה. שמעת על זה? לא. לא, זה משהו ביהדות
לא, זה לא נראה לי. לא שמעתי על זה, יש כאלה שיותר מבינים יותר ממני, אני לא כל כך מדבר. סליחה.
Have you ever heard of a tree called the garkad?
It's so funny. The guy is just told that Muslims believe that you Jews will be hiding behind this tree, and he's totally unbothered by that.
Tree. Okay.
You want to tell us something to do with Islamic theology?
Hold on. It could be, in Hebrew, it could be yimloach, or it could be atad.
Nope.
Okay. It is a tree that Muslims believe that the Jews will hide behind in the end of days. Have you ever heard this within Judaism? First of all, have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay. And is there...
I can tell you exactly what Muslims think when they watch this video. Okay. You can probably imagine, but just to familiarize yourself with the Islamist mindset, right? They know exactly what they're thinking when they see this video. They'll say, look at this, look at the guy, why is this guy grinning? Why is he smiling like that? I don't know, maybe because somebody is asking him a question on camera. But no. I can show you directly what they're saying. The guy could ask the Jewish, did you guys kick Palestine out of their land? And the Jewish would turn around saying, never heard of them. Is there something about Jewish people hiding behind the tree? If it's sunny, maybe, okay. If you ask a thief that you are stolen something, he will certainly say big no. Face and eyes tells everything. He has never heard of the tree, but he knows that it is impossible to be planted in his area. They know such a thing, but all of them are laying. They're all laying. They're all laying, man. I'm sure they know and heard about it. I can see from their faces if they say, no, it is just a lie. I believe in my prophet more than I am now watching this video. They will plant it for sure. Israelis can act better than Hollywood actors. Nice expressions. There are expressions after hearing the name of the tree is lit. These Muslims in the comment section are embarrassing. The most embarrassing is your comment. Their facial expressions tell everything. Hello,
Have you ever heard this with...
This is the problem. You can... How can you reason with such people? You are a Jew. You have never in your life ever bothered even thinking about Muslims. You go and learn about your own religion, about your own scripture, your own beliefs, and so on. And then you are told, you're planting trees because you're scared, because you know that one day we will come and kill you. You're laying. And you're like, excuse me, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, no, I can see in your eyes, you're laying, you're a big layer.
In Judaism. First of all, have you ever heard of that? No. Okay. And is there anything in Judaism something about Jews hiding behind a tree?
If it's sunny, maybe.
What?
If it's sunny.
Oh, if it's sunny. God.
That's a good point. See? That was a good point.
It's sunny, maybe.
First of all, have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay. And is there anything in Judaism something about Jews hiding behind a tree?
If it's sunny, maybe.
What?
If it's sunny.
Oh, if it's sunny. Got it, for the shade. No, I mean in the end of days, out of fear or...
No, I've never heard of that.
Look, he make a joke. He make me laugh because he lying.
So there's a question here about a tree called the galkad. Galkad, which in Hebrew could be yimloach or could be atad. And it's a Bible, it's in a hadith for the Muslims that the Jews will hide behind it in the end of days.
Right, I've heard this.
You've heard this?
I think so.
Okay. Is there anything in Judaism that is about that? that you've ever heard?
I've never heard of it in Judaism.
Do Jews plant kind of trees they can hide behind?
I've never heard of it. I've heard we will sit under our fig tree on the ship.
A fig tree, but
That's a different issue.
fig tree.
And learn, learn Torah.
Sit at peace under the trees. But it does it say which tree it is? Yeah, it does say fig tree. I think it's
That's a different topic.
Fig tree, I don't know.
I'll check this. But they're not hiding. They're sitting there. They're sitting under the Torah.
That's nothing to do with shaming or hiding. It's supposed to be
It's like a peaceful thing. Like we're sitting under a tree in the hot.
So the original question is, are Israelis planting this all over Israel?
I've never heard of that. Oh,
See, she's a religious Jew, religious Orthodox Jew. This is proof that she's clearly lying. She knows. Yes, you're right. Totally.
That's
יש עץ, בערבית קוראים לזה גרקד. גרקד.
Look at his white colonizer. Go back to Poland, man. Go back to Poland. White colonizer. Go back to Poland. You're coming here clearly with your white Polish appearance, occupying native Palestinian land. Go back to Poland, man. White colonizer.
אז בעברית זה ימלוח, אולי התד, אבל אני חושב שזה ימלוח, שמופיע אצל המוסלמים, סוף הימים, איך אומרים? אחרית הימים, היהודים יסתרטו מאחורי העץ הזה, יחברו. שמעת על זה?
והעץ יגיד שהוא יהודי. עדיין לא הגעתי לשם, כי אני צריך לשמוע תורה ומצוות, אז לכן אני לא אעשה...
לא, אם ביהדות יש דבר כזה. שמעת על דבר כזה?
This guy is concerned about keeping the commandments. He's not concerned about planting the cargot trees.
ביהדות אין עץ, יש כל כך הרבה פרטים שמשיח יבוא,
משהו קשור לעץ?
לא. אם הייתי יודע, הייתי אומר.
אוקיי. ימלוך פגום.
What did I say? I went to plant nurseries around Israel asking if they sold the tree and our Israelis planting it. This guy actually went to great extents.
אתה לא מכיר?
ימלוך פגום?
ימלוך פגום.
לא מכיר.
לא מכיר.
לא.
שמעת על ימלוך פגום.
ימלוך פגום.
למה?
לא שמענו.
לא שמעת.
כי לא מתעמקים בספרות, אנחנו עובדים.
ניטריה קוראים לזה.
לא חמודי, מישהו היה בברזיל בג'ונגלים ובידיים האלה.
לא, זה משהו שמגדל בים המלח. זה עם
כן, אנחנו לא. I'm sorry, מכיוון שכל גידולי המדבר ודברים כאלה לא בבית ספרי.
It would be funny if this plant guy said, oh yeah, well, lots of people have been coming here and buying that tree. I just don't know why. I'm just doing tree stuff. I don't really read scripture. But of course, none of that happens except in the Islamic imagination.
גרקד. זה, איפה הוא גודל?
זה עץ שהוא עץ בר. וגודל במדבר.
רק במדבר. אפשר לגדל אותו פה בתוך ישראל, לא במדבר יהודה, כאילו בתוך ישראל.
נראה לי שאפשר, אבל זה בכיוון דרומה.
רק בבאר שבע כאילו.
כן, בכיוון דרומה.
אוקיי.
This is funny. So this guy is a Druze guy, and he knows what the tree could be in reference to. He knows the Arabic. And he says it doesn't even properly grow in Israel, except in the south and in the desert. Did he say the Negev desert? Did he say Beersheba?
רק בבאר שבע כאילו. Okay.
Okay, that's technically still Israel, rural, urban.
אז זה היה גודל פה באזור?
לא, באזור הצפון לא נראה לי שזה גודל.
Okay.
Yeah, well, if you are in Tel Aviv, then you can't hide the trees. So, sorry. If you're in Tel Aviv, you can't hide the trees. You can't hide behind the trees.
אתה לא מכיר את זה? זה העץ שבקוראן שכתוב. אתה לא מכיר?
שמעת?
It's not actually mentioned in the Quran. It's in the Hadith, which are different.
ימלוך פגום זה השיח שגודל בנגב ובים המלח עם העלים שעם המלח?
הגיוני שיש לו עוד שם. רטיני, שאני אמור...
ניטרריה, בערבית. האם שמעת על זה?
האמת שעוד לא, תמיד אפשר לשמוע על זה.
אוקיי.
Anyone more religious? Nope. This is it. This is it. Shout out to Corey Gil Schuster. He does amazing stuff. Goes around asking questions. Both sides.
Guys, if you want to see more videos like these, please donate. I accept baked goods, free trips to Bora Bora, anything.
Yeah, go support this guy. He's doing good work. I should collaborate with him sometime. We have mutual friends. All right. So, nobody's planting garlic trees unless, of course, the Jews are all lying and the Islamists are all telling the truth, which is about as likely as Hamas one day defeating Israel. Mr. Garina said, what do you think of the left in Israel? It's a very complicated issue. I appreciate much of their history and their contributions and what they have built in Israel. You could say that the left is basically that the leftist mindset, in a way, is the one that, I don't know, brought about and formed the foundations of the modern state of Israel and all that. However, when it comes to it's just there, certain parts of the political spectrum within a nation can be very good in one way, but then very, very terrible in other ways. For example, in terms of dealing with the conflict and with the international community, I would say that much of what has happened is because Israel's foreign policy has been a little bit too naive and a little bit too appeasing to the Palestinian Arab sides and all that for a long, long time. I would say Israel needs to be more based, to put it very, very stupidly. Israel needs to be more. Israel has to have more awareness of what their so-called neighbors actually think about them, what they actually want, and about the fact that there simply is no proper peace solution with the majority of Palestinian movements and organizations and all that. Yeah. John the Press Buyer said, looks nicer than my hometown in northern Canada. You see? There you go. Dan Dave, best way to resolve this conflict is for Israel to challenge Palestinians to produce a better book than the Quran. If they do, they get the state they want. I know, this is actually a very good challenge. They should exactly do that. Alhamdulillah. John the Press Buyer, shouldn't cow horns be haram? Kind of sounds like a musical instrument. It should be. Honestly, when I watch those videos where they're just honking, honk, 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 all through the video, I just want to go in there and remove all of the horns of the cars. Captain Lamb, open air concentration camp, is it? There are large parts of the US that look far worse than this. My home country of South Africa has areas far worse than this too. Yeah. I know that there are lots of places in California that look horrible in comparison. My TV says Gaza look better than Bangladesh slums of Dhaka. Gaza also has higher living standards than Bangladesh. Libel, off topic. Hatun Tash won another 10,000 from Met Pol. Really? What happened? What happened? Did she sue them? What happened? Oh, well, this is on the news. That's funny. Daily Mail. Christian preacher wins second £10,000 payout from Met Police after she was wrongfully arrested when she was surrounded by mob chanting Allahu Akbar at Speaker's Corner. Nice. Very, very nice. Very, 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 very nice. Good on you. That's good news. Rusty saw blade. The people, but the people are retarded. Victor Emmanuel Oliveira said, remember that part of that nice infrastructure you see in Gaza was actually built by Israel when they controlled the area. Israel built a lot of stuff and also left lots of it behind, which they then used in order to build weapons and rockets. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Primus said, search 5 places to visit in Gaza. Yep, that's what I did. That was the bizarre video. Star D said, you and David Wood should review the debate between Konstantin Kisin and Seyfeddin Ammous. The Palestine is despicable. They had a debate on that. Konstantin Kisin and who? Seyfeddin. I don't even know who that is. NPCs for genocide. Seyfeddin, Konstantin Kisin. I will have to check that out. Konstantin
of the population.
Oh, okay. I saw a preview of this. I have to check that out. I should probably react to that. Hey.
We're talking as if Israel hadn't tried 5 times already to create a state. That's how we're talking here. So what happened in Oslo? In Oslo,
Fleur was on Piers Morgan just now. This was published 4 minutes ago. Based. She's such a wonderful person. The deputy mayor of Jerusalem. Or yeah, still, I guess. Fleur Nahum. She's a fantastic person. She was such a good friend when I met her in Jerusalem.
We're talking as if Israel hadn't tried 5 times already to create a state. That's how we're talking here. So what happened in Oslo? In Oslo,
because it's
the
not
West
true. They
Bank,
haven't.
Judea and
They never
Samaria.
have.
Okay, 1 second, Rape Denier. In Judea.
What? Did she just say 1 second, Rape Denier? What?
Judea and
They never
Samaria. Okay, 1 second, Rape Denier. In Judea and Samaria.
Okay, I have to watch this. Not now, but I'll watch it later. That's rough. I will watch that. Rape Denier. You and David Wood, TD Chad, 0.00069% growth, Cope and Seath, Namibians. Yeah. Yeah, I can see the flag on here. I don't know what flag this is. I can see the flag on my stupid interface here, which is ridiculous. No, I don't know. Ayatollah Khamenei said Uganda to its GDP. Why are you running? NES Iran, I bet if we relocate to another planet, Palestine will become even worse, and the world will blame us for leaving Earth without considering that they need someone to blame for their problems. This is true. Think of a scenario if all Israelis suddenly disappeared today. If all of them suddenly disappeared today, what do you think would happen? They would start fighting and killing each other. I bet if we relocate, Martyr Hamas leaders be like dollar bills. Israel trusted Egypt to prevent arms smuggling to Gaza. They did not do a good job. Hunting Shark, oh boo-hoo, Gaza is in rubble. Says there are consequences of trying to kill the Jews to create a caliphate. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Exactly. Stop trying to kill the Jews. Hu Jintao, Erdogan to NBC. Turkey won't rush to approve Ukraine's NATO membership, and Western values are dying in Gaza. AP sent you email yesterday. Turkey will not be rushed on Ukraine NATO membership, Erdogan tells NBC News. Says relations with Russia are expanding. Italian PM Meloni discussed Ukraine, drops reference to Kashmir in UN speech. God. For a long time, I was kind of, I was always annoyed by these suggestions that we might be on the brink of a huge war or something, or a clash. But I don't know. I don't know. It looks more and more like some people are really wanting to mess things up badly. Alona, natural selection, they won a Darwin Prize. Amit Yanuka, the reason why the fountain not working is because of tunnel entrance. That might be true. The fountain might not be working because Hamas was digging a tunnel and they hit the fountain. Yes, man, keep up the good work, Prophet. Be safe. Yeah. On a different note, are you team cameraman or team Skibbity? Both. I play both sides. Hunting Shark, this is so Orwellian. Cries about oppression to clueless Westerners, yet bragging about gold markets and fancy universities. That's what they do.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
The funny thing is, yesterday I saw on the news that I saw news that anti-Semitic hate crimes were spiking in America in the last year to 60% or something like that, higher than before, to an all-time high. But I thought, okay, I was expecting that. By the way, Little Lily, thank you for covering this. Let's show everyone the open-air prison they're facing. Thank you. Hope people wake up a little bit more. I was looking through the data, but then I thought, wait a minute, I want to just list all hate crimes by biases in America between October 2023 and September 2024 and see what's up. All of them mixed, not just religious hate crimes, all of them. And here's the result. The top 5 reported hate crimes by the FBI, this is directly from FBI data, from the FBI website. Anti-Jewish hate crimes over the last year are the number 1 incidents with 971. Number 2 are anti-Black, 774. The funny thing about this is that that Jews are significantly smaller in number than Black people in America, and still they are the number 1 targets of hate crimes, which says a lot. Number 3, with much distance, is anti-gay. Number 4, with not much distance from anti-gay, is anti-white. Number 5 is anti-Hispanic. But what do you notice? There's something missing here. There's something missing here in the top 5. There's something missing here. What is missing here? Something we talk about, something they talk about all the time, but something that is really clearly missing here. What is that? What's that? What's that, brother? No Muslims. Yep. Islamophobia. Islamophobia. Exactly. This is directly the FBI data. This is recorded by the FBI. Reported and released by the FBI. We are constantly told, including by this government, that together with anti-Semitism, Islamophobia and anti-Muslim bigotry is a big, huge problem. You have the top 5 here. Yes, it is in the top 10. It is down there somewhere. But you have the top 5 here, and it's not even mentioned among the top hate crimes here. Anti-Muslim bigotry. Islamophobia. Yet, whenever there is something about Jews, we are reminded to anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. It's almost a mockery by now. Like, we can't talk about problems without mixing anti-Muslim bigotry into it. It's so funny, isn't it? Facts don't lie. Knows too much that those who support the ideology of Palestinism, genocidal pan-Arabic Islamic imperialism versus Israel do so because they're brainwashed to hate Israel and Jews, not because of fake oppression. But you're oppressing them by refusing to be murdered by them. So you don't understand this. Knows too much. But here's a question you might not have thought about before. What gives you, as Jews, the right not to be murdered? So you say they shouldn't be anti-Semitic. You say they shouldn't be wanting to kill Jews, shouldn't be wanting to destroy Israel. Okay, what makes you so special that they shouldn't want to destroy Israel and kill the Jews, but it's okay to kill everyone else? You see? I wouldn't be surprised to hear such an objection from people by now. The world is a crazy place. El Gato, you should watch Piers Morgan interviewing John Mearsheimer about Middle East. Prepare to lose brain cells. I have lost enough brain cells today. Here's my jizya so AP can book a holiday in the Gaza. He's obviously very jealous, said Renee W. I know. I wish I had some nice vacation in the Gaza. Must be nice. Must be freaking nice. Must be nice to live in such a beautiful place like Gaza. Israeli army chief says military is preparing for a possible ground operation in Lebanon. I don't think that is great news. I don't think anybody thinks that's great news. That's not great news at all. However, at some point there's just nothing else you can do, right? Let's see. This is AP News, which is, they copied their name from me, and called it Associated Press because I already took it and called it Apostate Prophet. Israeli military is preparing for a possible ground invasion in Lebanon, the army chief said Wednesday, as Hezbollah fired dozens of rockets into Israel and a missile aimed at Tel Aviv that was the militant group's deepest strike yet. Addressing the troops on the northern border, Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi said the latest airstrikes were designated to prepare the ground for your possible entry and to continue degrading Hezbollah. I must say that if Israel is contemplating this, and if Halevi told, the army to possibly get ready for a ground invasion, then this is probably something that already went through lots of ranks in the Israeli state and government. If they are actually planning such a thing, then they probably know at this point that, or they probably highly estimate at this point that if Israel does a ground invasion into southern Lebanon, that others will not jump into this war. I just hope this goes well. And I still hope it doesn't have to come to that. I don't know. Because ground invasion is just as bad for everyone, but also especially for Israeli forces. For Israel. Hu Jintao, RFK said the Palestinians are the most pampered people in the world. Saudi UAE gave them lots of money. FUAP Indian here, reducing super chat budget for you. India sucks. But thank you for your super chat. Knows too much said Muslims ethnically cleansed and oppressed Jews for centuries, including in the land of Israel, including Gaza. Depicting them as the victims is laughable, false propaganda, and the opposite of the truth. Exactly. One Jewish girl said, way nicer than my Louisiana hood. You live in Louisiana. Nice. Shivam Rai, there are places even in the Gulf where there are neighborhoods in rough shape. Yeah. There are. Hu Jintao, look at Indian cities, Chandigarh, Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, Indore, Mysore, etc., etc. Google streets or cars of Chandigarh to only David Wood from now on. AP. Oh, these are good places, I guess. No, I think all those places must be horrible places. My stuff. What was your favorite thing about Israel? Did you meet people living there, and what was your impression of them? I said before that I think that they were extremely nice people, very, very warm, very nice, very heartwarming, very natural people who will just tell you what they think. Very friendly. I don't know. I just liked things there. People seemed strangely, extraordinarily happy and satisfied with life and with things, and everyone always had something good and something positive to say and to offer. The religious people were very nice. The non-religious were very nice. It was an interesting experience. There's something that I don't really know how to describe it, but there's something that I really loved about the people of Israel. Aside from all the other things like going to the wall, to the Western Wall, seeing different sites, I definitely want to go back there. But yeah, meeting people there was the most important thing. Efrat Cohen, you see, I did it, said most of the ugly areas in Israel, including Neve Sha'anan, look that way because of the population. Invaders from Sudan, for example. Alhamdulillah. Renee W. AP, please play that country version of Sahih Muslim. Next time. I'll turn it into a video. How about that? I'll call it, I turned the most anti-Semitic text ever into a song, into a country song. Maybe that way YouTube will not see a problem with it. I live a stream a day, a live stream a day keeps Allah away, said Iron Clipper. Alhamdulillah. Beautiful, powerful stuff. Islam tries to project its own stupidity onto others, but also seeks to appropriate other people's cultures and beliefs. Very, very much true. CO said, can we please spread awareness? If they don't realize that the gargoyle tree won't snitch on them, they will never seek shelter beneath it. Justice for Aisha. We need to tell more people about the gargoyle tree in Israel. That one Jewish girl said, I made a short about pro-Hamas feminists. I shall look at it. I shall look at it. Shivam Rai, have you met Israeli Arabs? If so, have you seen any difference between them and the Palestinians? I have met some, and they were in general, I would say, better than. It's a difficult topic. It's something that I want to talk about some other time. Maybe together with an Israeli Arab. God of Pig, King of Dogs said, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That one Jewish girl, you need to react to unfriendly black ex-Muslim Hadi's video on how Muslim women enable PDFs. Did she make a new one? I find her channel name the best thing in the world. Unfriendly ex-Muslim Hadi. Let's see. Unfriendly black ex-Muslim Hadi. Huh. I will check it out. I will check it out. Celery Rosencroix, it was the flag of Chad. Oh, was it? Okay. Have you or David Wood seen the influencers traveling to Afghanistan making videos trying to make it look friendly to Western women, like channel Josie Lifts Things? I have seen a glimpse of it, but I'm not really bothered by it, considering that not many people out there will actually be impressed with Afghanistan, honestly. Marshman, Roger, calm down. Don't sink to his level. All right, I won't. Stop shouting. Let him interrupt you as much as you want. Oh, hi, Mark. Michelle, what's up, Michelle? How are you doing? Wish you all the best, by the way. Michelle, Mufat. Off topic, but when are we getting members of your and Mrs. AP again? We miss her. Sending you guys love and prayers. I don't know. We kind of had to cut that short and didn't continue it. I have to see. Have to check. Eric T. UN claims October 7th complicit UNRWA workers have immunity. Thoughts? I think UNRWA should be treated like Hamas. Taran Touch, hey, what is up, my bros? It is me after a long time. I'm going to talk about some vegan stuff again in India. But hey, welcome back. Griswaldo, AP, could you possibly cover topics relating to ethnic replacement in the West, Britain and Canada, for example? Anyone who speaks out are silenced here. There are other people speaking about this, and I don't want to speak about it. I mention it occasionally in certain aspects. Don't want to speak about it in general, because it usually attracts terrible kinds of people who use it to push terrible kinds of ideas. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Alhamdulillah. All right, I will leave it at that, and we'll be back again, most possibly tomorrow, and then live with David Wood on Friday and Saturday and Sunday as usual. And together we will conquer the world and possibly finish Hamas and Hezbollah together. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope this helps some people to stop believing in all the stupid propaganda of the oppressed Gaza And I hope we can put an end to Islamic terrorists, because
it is totally based.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic day. And as always,
stay away from Islam.